everybody. Thanks for joining me for this exciting podcast discussion video. Depends on how you're watching it, reading it, or listening to it. But I know you're going to have a great discussion where we're going to learn about Mindvalley, their new coaching program, and probably a few other things, as I just learned from Marisha a few minutes ago before we recorded. Marisha, how are you today? Thanks for joining me. And I hope you, your family, and those that are important to you are doing well. How are you?
I'm great. And I'm so excited to be on this podcast and video, audio, all of it.
It's going to be all the things. We're going to chop it up into little pieces, and that's going to be everything. But thanks for being here. So Marisha, right before we begin, help us understand, for those who don't know, what is Mindvalley? What's the mission? Who do you serve? I know a bit about it, but since we have you here, why don't we start right at the top? What is Mindvalley? And feel free, talk about yourself a bit. What's your role there, please?
Okay, so what is Mindvalley? I always get asked this question, and then there's two answers that I like to give. So the first answer is what everyone understands about what we do. So we're essentially an e-learning platform. Mm-hmm. So you go online to learn courses. Now, what's special about us is that we're in the self-development niche. Okay. But the way we like to communicate about it is the fact that we believe we're a human optimization platform. Because we believe what we do is we teach people what university forgot to teach them. So a lot of the courses are about like leadership, how to be a good parent, how to have like fulfilling relationships, how to find your mission, how to have more purpose, how to grow your business, how to make an impact, how to build a community around your brand. Like all of those things are things that you would not learn when you're in traditional education. But what we do is we teach that on Mindvalley.
I love it. And then is that the two definitions, or is there another one that?
No, that's the two definitions.
Very nice. I love it. And then talk a bit about who is it for? Is there one main audience, or is it pretty much everybody? Talk a bit about who your customers are.
It's pretty much everybody, but our audience tends to be a bit older. So it's people usually above 35. They're people that already, they're kind of on this journey. They've reached a point in their life where they feel like they are destined for something greater. So they work a lot inward. So they stop trying to fix their outward. They try to fix the inward. So they want to achieve greatness or success in all different areas of their life, right? They're not like one-sided trying to think about just health and relationships or career, because they've established that. So right now they're thinking about like, okay, so I want to build a better relationship with my partner. I want to have a family. I want to build a business. I want to build a legacy. I want to build a brand. So all of those things is what we do. So we have like 198 different outcomes that we teach you. So when I say outcomes, I mean like growth areas. So you can learn anything about like from optimizing your sleep to building muscle, dealing with trauma. All of these different things would be under one umbrella.
Wow, that is powerful. And then I guess you serve, and we're going to talk about the coaching program in a minute. There's the end user, people like me who could pay something to learn a course and I guess get a certificate. You can talk more about that. But what's new then are people can be coaching Mindvalley certified. But before we get there, let's then talk about what does the typical scenario look like. Ramon Ray, I want to know, optimizing sleep. What happens? Give us a scenario.
So you would join the platform and we would ask you, okay, so Ramon, you want to optimize, what is the area you want to focus on? And you're going to say sleep. And the platform will dig deeper and say, so why do you want to optimize sleep and how much sleep are you currently getting? Because there's small nuances, right? You might not be getting sleep, a lot of sleep because of your day-to-day job, because of your stress levels, because you have, your diet is not on point. Your job is like incredibly demanding, like all of these factors play a part. So we'll try to understand you better. And then we give you a curriculum. So a curriculum could be like, we have a course that's 30 days that will help you optimize your sleep, your environment, your diet, all of that. Or it could be a shorter course that's 7 days. So it really kind of depends on your needs and your specifications. And then it's really about just spending 5 to 10 minutes a day. So we've gamified the experience where it's, because with online education, what people do is they tend to get really excited about it. They do 2 hours straight. They feel very proud about it. And then they take a step back and they're like, okay, feel success. Let's go do something else, So what we do is we believe in 5 to 10 minutes a day, because what this does is this builds habit. And the most important thing to build in a human being is the habit of doing something, which essentially gets you to success, right? And it takes about 66 days to build a habit. So our courses are designed to just be 5 to 10 minutes a day, which you can slot into anything. You can slot in while you're driving, you can slot in while you're waiting in the grocery store, you can slot in like while you're having your coffee in the morning, while you're waiting for your kids outside school. Like literally there's no you'll have 5 to 10 minutes of pockets in your day. So we believe we kind of integrate in your lifestyle, and we give you this tool that can really help you develop, and without having you having to put that much effort and sacrifice so much time into doing this, you know?
I think that's powerful. And it's funny you said about 5 to 10 minutes a day. I can watch a good Netflix movie for 90 minutes to 2.5 hours with popcorn, a bag of chips, and soda or something terrible. However, I've paid now. I've paid, Marisha, paid for, different things I'm doing. Meaning, so I'm paying for thousands a month for certain things, my own development, do this module. After 10, 12, maybe 20 minutes, but definitely 30, I have to stop. So it's you guys definitely, that's smart, because even for something I want to do, like learn how to make this plastic cup or study math, after 20 minutes-ish, I'm like, you know what, it's done. But yet YouTube video of some stupidness, I can watch that for hours.
It's crazy. And online courses have a completion rate of 13%.
Wow.
So that's pretty low. But then Mindvalley's completion rate is 80%.
Wow.
It's
that
80.
is huge.
It is huge. So because we don't take away from your personal time, we integrate in your lifestyle.
Yes, I love it. And so let's dive into it, Marisha. Let's talk about the coaching program you have. Why did you launch it? What is that about? Who are you looking for? And I'm guessing, just so I can set the context, previously, Mindvalley, hey, all the end users come and subscribe, sign up, learn, have a better life. Okay, good. So that's that. But now it seems like certification and coaching is a whole different ballgame. Help us understand that.
So there's two types of audiences that do certification. So there's the audience and they're 50-50. So there's the audience that does it because of self-mastery. They want to be better at a particular domain. So for example, I have a health and coaching certification, and there's a couple of students that did it, and they don't intend to be a coach, but they really wanted to just develop the better body. And they wanted to understand the mechanics behind it, because they didn't want to just follow a program. They really wanted to understand, how do you get there, right? And now they have like insane bodies, insane physiques, okay? And they're super proud about it, and they go shout about it, but they have no intention
It's
to
kind
be
of like me. I'm very chiseled. That's a joke.
Yeah.
No one ever said that.
I was like, you gotta get up and do a little twirl.
Go ahead.
And then there's the other kind of people that want to be coaches. So there's a massive group of people that just want to help impact other people, right? So there's two people that we're targeting with the certification. Essentially, it's a very natural progression for our members. So a lot of our members join because they want to improve their quality of life or their standard of living, okay? And then what they tend to do is they get so impacted by what they learn at Mindvalley that they want to start teaching this to others and helping others. So they actually wrote to us. The whole certification division started because members started writing to us saying that I would love to get certified on this topic. So is there anything that you guys offer? And we were like, okay, we should think about this, and let's start this whole division. So how it works is that what sets us apart in this coaching certification division, which I believe this is literally the best out in the market, because we handhold you. So not only do we certify you, we give you customers.
That's a big difference. Wow.
Which no one does. And I tell you why we do that, because there's the people that do the subscription, and they sometimes need accountability or a coach. Like I have a fitness coach, I have a hypnotherapy coach, I have all these coaches that support me and help me grow. So I need to hire a coach while I'm doing my program. And then I have certified coaches that are looking for jobs. So I just pair them together. So I built a coaching marketplace where you can hire any one of my coaches. So now we're the only certification that's actually underpriced compared to everything else in the market, but I actually help you grow your business. I give you the clients.
And for example, because there's people like me, let's say, assuming I'm not on the coaching side, people like me who are saying, I want to sleep better, I want to get healthy. So good, I study whatever it is that Mindvalley gives me, and I guess there's some button or somewhere on there. Would you like help with this more? Would you like a human help? Click, and that's the person on the other side certified in. Am I kind of very nice? I like it. And then how does the certification program work? Help us understand how that works. And I know we can go online and see the details, but just give us the high level view, how that works, and maybe who it's not for, who it's for. Anything else you want to say about that as we're, again, talking to the audiences that I have who may be interested in this?
So essentially, it's like any certification program out there. You sign up. There's a massive group that does this together. It's a 3-month period where you do a mix of like pre-recorded and live calls. We also pair you in coaching pods, so you get to train with other in small groups with other to be coaches. And then and you do an assessment at the end of it, and you have to pass the assessment to get certified. So it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing crazy unique about it. We do a graduation ceremony at the end that a lot of people don't do.
Nice.
So the graduation ceremony is mainly to give you some content, to get you excited, to allow you to invite your friends and family to this call, to really build that community, because I think that's a strong point of Mindvalley's values, right? So we don't just sell the program. We have a massive community behind the program. So it's about really pairing you with one another. You can learn from one another. And then what we do is we put you on this marketplace. So we start to drive clients to you and start to promote you.
I love it. That is powerful. What haven't I asked you, Marisha, about Mindvalley that you want to share? This has been great. Oh, one thing I did want to touch on is our previous discussion, but about the coaching program, anything else you wanted to share about that I haven't asked you? Anything you wanted to touch on about that? And we may have covered it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are scaling the certification right now. So I'm trying to build 2 levels of certification.
Okay.
So there's going to be the first level where you go and you get certified, but then there's like a deeper certification that you can do. So you might want to do, like, for example, the health and certification coaching, but then there's going to be like a fitness coaching. There's going to be a nutrition coaching. There's going to be maybe a sleep coaching, all of those things, but then kind of ties into this overall health and fitness coaching. That's going to be like a level 2. So the level 2 gets you to be a master coach, and the master coach will get you more high-end clients. So what I'm imagining to do is like have a high-end subscription, put people into a pod, and then these are high-level executives, and then you will be coaching these kind of executives.
I love it. It's like me and Uber. I've used it so much, and I have 4.999999 rating. I get the best.
No way.
I do.
That should go on your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Very few people have that.
Yes, it could be 4.97, but I'm pretty proud of it. My Uber rating is really high. I tip well. I just tell everybody I tip $10 or more for every Uber ride. That's just me. And I think most people don't tip that much. So
nice.
That's me.
I just think it's so nice.
Yeah, because I can. But okay, let's dive into, we were talking about global organization. I know we didn't come to this talk to talk about global education and global organization, but Mindvalley is a company, as I understand it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that has staff all across the world, all time zones. And we started talking about how you all are able to work and understand that, and how I think it's the CEO, I think, is really focused on, we don't want people working crazy hours and interrupting their lives. So Marisha, with that, help me understand. You mentioned OODA looping and other things. Recap that conversation we had, best practices for a global company.
Yeah, so we actually have when we onboard new employees, we actually have a performance training, and a performance training is like our principles on what makes a top performer in Mindvalley, right? And we operate slightly different from traditional organizations. We give employees tons of freedom because we believe trust is everything, and it's about hiring right, and then if they don't perform, having high benchmarks, right? So we have these conversations where we're always about raising the benchmarks of the team. Okay, like how we'd like to operate is we give teams full flexibility. We believe in personal growth. So like I can decide if I want to go training or working out or doing a yoga session at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and no one will question me, because it's all about growth. And if I'm not growing personally, I will never grow professionally. So we really empower our team to adopt their own morning routine, evening routine, workout routine, give them flexibility to take care of their kids, pick up their kids. We don't interfere with that. At the end of the day, it's about the output. And if they're able to deliver the output at the end of the month, all well and good, We also have a very unique culture of OODA looping. So, in traditional organizations, and my biggest pet peeve and like energy zapping activities, making decks. Like I dread the idea of making decks because it's just, I'm just design dyslexic,
Yes,
like,
I
just can't do it. And we don't have, we don't spend so much energy making these presentations, these high level presentations, and then presenting it only to realize we've kind of gone off on a tangent, right? So we completely waste the time. So we have this concept of OODA looping where we rapidly communicate in WhatsApp. We rapidly communicate WhatsApp, like voice notes, pictures, images, how we're thinking. We just think out loud and we refine together. So by the time we get to the end goal of the product, or the idea, the vision, it's very much solidified and it has input from everyone in all the stakeholders within it. So like this, we innovate super fast. Like from the concept of like our certification division, localization division, they all started as an A/B test, an idea. We rapidly tested it. It became successful. We built a division. We hired the right people, and now it's a full-fledged business. So we rapidly move like this, which allows us that agility to play and adopt failure, because it's not every idea will become like a hit idea, right?
Yes.
But OODA looping is definitely a core part of our strategy.
I love that. And what would your advice be to other companies that are high growth startups? Any thoughts? Again, it's a very broad question, but there's this whole thing of work culture. There's a whole thing of, there's all kind of angles, but I guess what would you say to the busy entrepreneur that's a fast growth startup that's scaling? They want to be like Mindvalley, but yet they're beholden to this. They have this to do, that to do. They're just so overwhelmed. It's a broad question. Anything that comes to mind if you were their advisor?
Yeah. So I think that that OODA looping, I think every company should adopt OODA looping, because it helps you rapidly innovate. Second is practice gratitude. So the thing is that a lot of times, a lot of the employees put in a lot of work, but they just don't feel seen enough. So we have a gratitude practice where you have to dedicate on your calendar 2 minutes every morning to send gratitude to somebody in the company, based on a meeting you had, based on an interaction, based on an idea they shared, just to recognize that employee. And it literally, productivity goes up because employees feel seen. They feel like even the little things that they do, they don't get unnoticed. So gratitude is definitely one. The concept of like Kaizen, which is micro improvements to how you operate. So start, stop, continue is a very strong one. So you're always focusing on the right thing at the right time.
Yes.
Because like a lot of times you're doing things because they're your standard operating practice, but then a lot of things like 20-30% get obsolete because as your business evolves, right? So how much time are you spending to stop and say, is this actually still relevant? So for example, I'll give you a very specific example. So we had this process of, when we do a launch, we would write like 10 copy tickets to the copywriter, because none of us were trained in copy. I mean, we know how to write it, but there was a brand voice that the copywriter knew.
Copywriting is a very specific skill. Yeah.
Right. So we would raise these tickets to the copywriter. Then what happened? ChatGPT happened. And then everyone could prompt ChatGPT. So we were like, what if we just taught them how to prompt ChatGPT? And then we wouldn't need the copywriter to do this small task. They can focus on more high-level tasks. So it's things like that. Can we stop, identify, pivot, and scale?
I think that is so powerful. I love that. And I was going to ask you one more question. You know how when you have a perfect question in mind, it just floats away to your head. But it's wonderful. But I think I'll stop there. No. And thank you for my gratitude to you, Marisha. Thank you for saying yes to me out of a blind note to you on a platform. You kindly said yes. So anything I didn't ask you, anything else you wanted to say before we end? This has been just great for me. And I'm keeping it short because I want to have you again in another month or two for another conversation.
So the only thing I want to share with if anyone that's a leader or CEO watching this, my only piece of advice that I really want to share that's really personal to me is that I really believe you need to treat your people so good that they can go anywhere. They get hired like this, but you have to train them so well that they can get hired super fast, but you have to treat them so good that they don't want to go. So for example, like people from my team in Mindvalley gets offered salaries like 10 times higher than I get offered.
I can believe it.
So they get poached constantly, but they don't want a lot of them don't want to go. Some of them do, because I understand money's money, but most of them don't want to go, and because they don't want to leave me. So it's really incredible. It's really about treating your people right. So they actually love what they do every single day, right? So, but training them. So like right now I have this whole AI adoption plan for my team, and I'm training them on how to utilize AI, because I want to make them so up there in the workplace that they are so hireable and so marketable. But I also want to make sure that they're treated, they're seen, they're valued, they know what they're bringing to the table, and they're rewarded for it. So they actually don't want to go. They love the working in the team. So yeah.
When talking to you, you're making me want to come and work for you. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I've started 5 companies, sold 3 companies.
Share with you my career page.
5 books. I'm like, hey, I'll send you my resume. I don't know. I mean, it's seriously what you're saying is beautiful. But, and I remember my question is that I do all the things right. I'm exercising and fit in my family and doing whatever I want, but I'm not meeting my numbers, because you all are a business. You have to make sales. You have to make money. That's a fact, right? I'm in business. But so how do you balance the not mojo, what's that word people say, whatever, I'm in my zen, I'm floating away, I'm all peaceful, but Marisha, yeah, what's up, dude? I didn't make any money this quarter. Or, sorry, Marisha, you asked me to put the cup here. I'll do it later. You get what I mean? Meaning I have that soft part well, but what if the person's not selling? What if their work is in? How do you address that? The balance, where you don't want to be a tyrant. You don't want to be corporate America. Make your sales. Come in at 2 a.m. and leave at 3 a.m. But yet we're a company. How do you balance that?
So everyone, okay, so personal life, everyone time blocks. So in their calendar, they have their schedules of like, okay, this is my personal time. Don't disrespect this, but this is my work time. In the work time, I think it's really down to the leader giving clarity. So for me, it's very important for the team to know what to work on that will move the needle in a big way, because there's 20 things they can work on, and so everyone has an idea. Everyone's an innovator. So everyone wants to work on their ideas, but I always make them like rank the ideas. Okay, so if you're going to work on this, what is the impact? What is the effectiveness? like the ease of executing, and what is like how much revenue do you think this will generate? Sure. And it's really going to come down to 2 or 3 things that's actually going to move the needle. And I just push them to move those 2 or 3 things. And then I have high-level OKRs, and I map everyone's key responsibilities to my OKRs. So basically, if everyone just hits their independent targets and there are 3 things they need to do in the quarter, we're going to hit our target. So it comes down to like a lot of planning and a lot of clarity and over communicating.
Wow. Definitely. This has been an amazing conversation. I hope we can talk again in 60 days or so and just keep sharing you with my audience. But Marisha, thank you so much. And one more time, can you give us your full name? And I didn't ask you what your role is at Mindvalley. I know what it is, but just give that one more time and feel free to reintroduce the coaching program, where people can find out. I'm sure it's right on Mindvalley's website, but feel free to talk about that again, yourself and Mindvalley again.
Yeah. So my name is Marisha Lakhiani. I currently got promoted, so I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Mindvalley. And yeah, to find out more about the certifications, just visit mindvalley.com. You'll find a link on the navigation that says certifications, and you can literally check out everything that we do there.
I love it. And I'm Ramon Ray, and thank you all for listening to this discussion with Marisha of Mindvalley.